Hey guys, Meth here. Welcome to Use It or Lose It, where I take a look at Battlefield 1 weapons, gadgets and vehicles. We'll also take a look at their in-game stats and mechanics, have a bit of a chit-chat about their pros and cons and how they play out, and then I'll let you know if I think they're worth using or losing. So today I'm going to take a look at an infamous rifle from the Scout class called the Martini Henry. The footage in the background is from the first 2 times I played with the Martini Henry. There's no 360 no scopes. Martini doesn't have any scopes with which to not scope. It's iron sights only anyhow, so does that mean every shot's a no scope? I don't know enough memes. This was also recorded after the Giant Shadow DLC patch, and so this is I guess the post-patch Martini Henry, so I never did get to play with the gun that just one-banged people even if you just threw it at them. Looking at the stats from simthic.com, you can see that the Martini Henry fires slowly, 23 RPM, and that's because after each shot you've got to reload manually. I mentioned earlier that you can't no-scope with it, and that's because it's the infantry variant, and there's only one variant, and so it's iron sights all the way with this gun. Now this gun can output some serious damage. It's got a huge sweet spot from 30 meters out to 80 meters, that's a 50 meter sweet spot. Obviously a headshot's going to kill at any range, but if you hit an upper torso shot or a headshot in that sweet spot, they're dead. Now the patch on the 13th of December changed the damage multipliers to the arms, legs and lower torso. A hit to any of these locations, even in the 50 meter sweet spot, is no longer a kill. Now there's been a lot of salt on the forums and social media about this particular nerf. But let's be clear, this wasn't a nerf. This was DICE fixing something that was wrong at the point of the game's release. Every other sniper rifle when Battlefield 1 first came out behaved this way. So, you know, the SMLE, you shoot somebody in the arm, it's not going to kill them. You shoot somebody in the leg, it's not going to kill them. There's no reason that the Martini Henry should kill people if you shoot them in the toe. So people always cry when you take something away. But I think one of the other reasons that people struggle with the Martini Henry post-patch is because now when you're firing at somebody down your iron sight who's 75 meters away, they're still in the sweet spot, but it's actually quite difficult to see if you're going to hit that target in the arm or the forearm. Everything's grey in Battlefield 1, and so it's just difficult to see if that target has got their side facing you and you're going to hit them in the arm. Whereas with a sniper rifle that's got a scope, you know, a 4x mag scope on it, you can just easily shoot them in the head, or you can easily shoot them in the chest and not the arm. Back to the stats, you can see that the Martini Henry's got a low bullet velocity, 440 meters a second. It's the slowest of all of the sniper rifles. It means that if you're firing at a target who's running across your field of vision, you really do need to lead that target a lot more than the other sniper rifles. The Martini Henry sounds amazing when you fire it. It's just like a bomb going off each time you pull the trigger. But with that big bang comes a massive recoil. The gun basically kicks so hard it completely covers your screen, and you just can't see your target for a split second after you fired it. The one thing that did cheer me up about using the Martini was by its very nature you will often be much closer to the flags and the action because the sweet spot starts at 30 meters. Your targets are often on the flag burn. And even if you only hit for 90 damage, because they're in the thick of contesting a flag, they'll often die a second later to a teammate who found them cowering behind a rock from you. You get the assist counts as a kill, and I'll take my kills any way I can, thanks. A good scout knows how to use their sidearm. The Martini Henry user spoons their sidearms on cold winter nights and takes it roughly from behind on summer evenings. It's so damned important to them. In the thick of a firefight on a flag, if your first Martini shot isn't a kill, you simply don't have the time to reload a round, chamber it, and then fire it again for the kill when the enemy's returning fire. You fire the Martini, you get a hit, you pull out your sidearm, it's faster than trying to fire the Martini again, and it also means that you don't die. In summary, the Martini Henry is a high-risk, high-reward weapon. When you hit your shots, there's no better feeling than watching your target, who thinks he can kill you, drop like a sack of spuds. When you miss, it's agonising. The world slows down and it's a coin flip as to whether you're going to live or die. Bright side, you're going to be full of adrenaline. You have to invest some time into the Martini to become competent with it. You can't half-ass this gun. You're a glass cannon and you'll need to suffer a lot of frustrating moments before you get to enjoy it in its full glorious potential. Now DICE just recently announced a patch list for the new CT environment they've launched. Whether the final patch gets dropped on the main game in Feb as a standalone patch or in March with the They Shall Not Pass DLC remains to be seen. But in the draft patch notes, interestingly, DICE said that they are going to slightly increase the damage of the Martini Henry in the 30 to 80 meter range. Now, given it already does 100 damage between those two ranges, I'm curious as to what this means. If, for example, they increase the Martini Henry's damage between 30 and 80 meters from 100 to, say, 112, then even if you hit the lower torso or upper arm, which carries that 0.9 multiplier, you would still get a kill, but the legs and forearm would still leave you with only having done 84 damage. I'm kind of watching this one with interest because I'm not sure they meant what they actually said in the patch notes. So, use it or lose it? I say use it. It's a scout gun that allows you to play on and around the flags if you're fast, accurate, and enjoy the taste of pure adrenaline. It's a use it just for the sound it makes. Playing close to flags will net you a metric shit ton of points and put you high up on the scoreboard. It's more difficult to score that highly with the longer range rifles for the scout class, as their sweet spots just basically push you further back from the flag burns. As I mentioned earlier, you really do need to become fairly good with your sidearm as well. And not all of the sidearms in Battlefield 1 are appropriate for finishing weapons at the kind of ranges that you might have wounded somebody with a Martini. I generally find that the from a stop is a good finishing weapon. It's got a really high rate of fire, it's accurate, its damage drop off isn't as severe as the M1911, which is a great close quarters weapon, but not so great for finishing at kind of those 20, 30, 40 meter distances that you often need to kill somebody at once you've basically mortally wounded them with a Martini Henry. Another great finishing sidearm that I see people using quite often is the Mars Automatic. I personally don't get on with that weapon particularly well, but then I haven't really invested much time into it. I just basically find myself missing more of the shots than I would like with the Mars, whereas I can just spam the FOMA in their general direction and they die. I've been meaning to actually play around with the alternative iron sight. I think it's the Iridium iron sight. One of the things that genuinely does keep happening is I actually target with the wrong post of the iron sight. You actually notice the iron sight's made of 3 prongs. Obviously you should use the one in the middle, but I keep using the left or the right, and that's a disaster. So I'm going to have a go with the Iridium and see if I can actually, kind of acquire my targets a little bit better. So I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the stuff I've said in the comments below. So having done a voiceover, wrecked my throat, and being British, I'm off for a cup of tea now. And by tea, obviously I mean beer. Take care, have some great games, and I'll see you next time.